how has all the snow been for business in the last?
It's been crazy. So the shop has probably closed maybe 2 times
Mm-hmm.
since the snowstorms that we've had. I can't make deliveries in snow. Um, I can. I have a Discovery, a Land Rover, so it's pretty trusting in the snow. But um, I also have a minivan, which isn't the best. And with all the snow that we have, and the conditions of the roads, and the plows not being able to keep up, also people's driveways not being plowed and sidewalks, just making those deliveries, especially to the rural parts of like Lee and Newmarket, I can't physically do it. Um, and it's been difficult because a lot of the times the arrangements are for birthdays or for anniversaries, which fall on a particular date, and a lot of people are still expecting to get those deliveries out. So when we have to call them and be like, "I'm so sorry, we can't do it because of the snow." Sometimes they're a little, irritated. Other times they're completely understanding because we live in New England. The weather's pretty unpredictable. There's been times where it actually didn't happen this year, but last year I had to walk from my house. I live about 2 miles away, and I left my delivery vehicle here. And so I had a funeral, and they don't cancel funeral services. So I had to walk here. I brought my dog with me. So we
How many
walked
dogs
about,
do you have?
yeah, 2 miles here to get the van to make the deliveries. So his name is Aristo. He's a little German Shepherd. So we're, there's like, it was coming down, the snow, you could barely see, but the roads hadn't been plowed, so we're just kind of walking in the middle of the street. Just, it was really peaceful. But then we had to get on the roads and make those deliveries. And
Yeah. Would you say this is the hardest winter that you've had to deal with thus
oh yeah,
far?
for sure.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time it snowed this much. I grew up in New England in Durham,
Mm-hmm.
so I think the last time I remember having a snow or a season this bad was when I was like 9 or something like that,
Yeah.
and we were jumping off the decks of our house. We had like a farmer's porch, and we would just jump, and the snow would be like over our heads. So it's pretty crazy, but um, it's it's hard being in the delivery business, and especially when the weather's so bad, people don't want to come out. They don't want to come downtown. They don't want to leave their houses. So our walk-in traffic is nothing. Um, Last year we had a really bad snowstorm the day before Valentine's Day. I'm hoping it's not going to snow this year. I know we're supposed to get some on Thursday, but which really impacted our business because people didn't come in to pre-order. So people came in the day of. So I would say it was upwards of the 20% that didn't pre-order. They came in the day of, and we ran out of red roses. We couldn't handle the demand, and I didn't have the pre-orders to call and be like, okay, I need this many roses. We're running low, so I couldn't do anything, and I had a lot of you know, uh, disappointed boyfriends and girlfriends and things like that. But it's the nature of the beast. It's Valentine's Day, and they were also waiting last minute at like 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, but I've more prepared this year, and with the snow, you kind of just have to roll with the punches and just anticipate the worst, so you can do what you can.
Are there any other seasons throughout the year that kind of pose any problems?
Well, yeah. Also, during the extreme heat, we do a lot of outdoor weddings. So there's times where I have to make different suggestions for the types of flowers used. Like hydrangea are super sensitive, and a lot of brides love hydrangeas and bridal bouquets and things like that. But when you're out taking pictures or you're in the heat for long periods of time, they don't think about flowers needing water. So sometimes they will get a little droopy, and it's never happened, but I always just have to say this: you have to put flowers in water, like as often as you can, because I don't want your bouquets to droop. But when it's 90 degrees outside in July, you have to worry about that too. So
Are you thinking about putting on any kind of like promotional events to kind of take advantage of the snow at all, or?
I haven't really thought about it, but we do a lot with the rose petals outside. I don't know if you've noticed when you walk in, but like
Oh,
especially,
frequently.
yeah, everybody does, and they're like, "Oh, those for me." And it's just funny, but I try to just, it looks so blah. It's gross. Everyone's so sick of the snow, so I try to just throw a little color on the sidewalk. And when we get roses in, we have to process them, and they're called packing petals. And so they're usually the 3 or 4 petals on the outside of the rose, sorry, that are usually damaged. So we save those and just toss them outside. Yeah.
Well, I think that was actually all the questions I had.
Awesome.
Unless you think there's anything else I should add.
No, I know another thing, due to the weather, we have to, in the extreme cold, we have to wrap all of our flowers in a plastic wrap. So that's just a time-consuming thing and an extra cost to our materials. But it's really important, if you go outside and you're not wearing gloves, after a couple minutes your hands are freezing. So it's the same thing with flowers. I know, I do. It's like covered in, they're green, they're going to be permanently stained from the thorns and everything like that. But
on a side note, after Valentine's Day, how long does it take for you to get like the smell of roses like off of all your clothes, like out of your hair? Do you even
see, I don't even. I don't notice it that much.
Yeah.
Like when I have this many flowers in the flower shop, yeah, I notice, like, especially lilies. Those have the strongest scent, and
Those ones are
peonies
my
and
favorite.
things like that. But I don't really notice it. My fiance is a mechanic, or he used to be, and so when he would come home, I could smell like the grease and the car stuff on him, and he'd be like, "Oh, you smell like roses," and I was like, "Thanks," but I don't smell it. And everybody comes in here, they're like, "Oh, it smells so nice in here."
Yeah.
I'm just accustomed to it.
Yeah.
But when we get large shipments like this, I do enjoy it. But I would say it dissipates pretty quickly.
It smells so beautiful right now.
Yeah, and it's nice because it's been such a long winter that everybody, I think, is kind of they're coming to the flower shop to see spring, to see a touch of orders and things like that. So.
Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.